You are now tuned into Big Monk Media, where sound becomes vision, vision becomes legacy. Two juggernauts with one vision. Shut up and eat your donut.
All right, we are back. Big Monk Media in the house, in full character too. What's up, man?
Let's see here. Well, I started. Definitely, I've been working on this beat tape project. I think I got 3 more tracks on there that I want to work on as far as the mix and whatnot is concerned, and start coming up with some sequence order and whatnot. How it's gonna, I want to put it together and whatnot. So, that's basically all I've been working on, music wise.
On that beat tape, yeah, you really inspired the whole cinematic approach with the, at least when it came to me prompting. Suno, yeah, I went crazy, man. I had about 30, maybe 20 to 30 tracks in my sample folder. It's called Sample That Shit. And that turned into a whole, I think I got about 90 tracks, so I probably loaded about good 60 tracks just ready to go.
For sure. Hell yeah.
Yeah, man. It's like that whole Bollywood prompt. I got into like Russian mob music, all types of different styles, and Ethiopian child choir, haunting. Like it's crazy. There's so much meat in that folder. It's kind of nuts.
Just keep building and stacking, baby. Building and stacking.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And unfortunately, like last week, our great podcast went to waste. But it's funny because those topics that we brought up, everybody was talking about this week.
Yeah. As per usual.
Yeah, we're usually ahead of the curve. It's like we catch it and we can foresee what it is, the future. But there's definitely a lot of opinions out there for sure on AI and all that good stuff. Yeah,
as I mean, opinions are great, especially when you're dealing with what's new. You know what I'm saying? Whether it be technology or got some kind of industrial breakthrough, whatever the case is. But like, opinions matter because it gives a broader scope of how things could be.
Mm-hmm.
But none of it means that's what they are going to be. It's just all speculation, all opinionated. So it's just a matter of like what your vision brings to the table and just using your AI tools to take it to the next level.
Yeah. That week, I think, we talked on Thursday or Friday, and then I went to my brother-in-law's house, and, I was kind of probing at him about AI, and, he had some pretty interesting, because he uses chat for like his card business and stuff like that. And he, sometimes he uses it, sometimes he doesn't, but it kind of feels like he's at the tail end of it. He's posted like a bunch of videos, all on YouTube and stuff like that. And, he basically, I had asked him, like, what do you feel about this stuff? It wasn't really AI. It kind of started like social media. And then it was just like, he's like, man, I wish none of this stuff was here. I wish I didn't like any of this stuff. Like, I wish I didn't like using whatever I'm using because it's like, I'm addicted to it, type of deal. So I was like, interesting. I was like, huh. So it made me think and reflect like, damn, like, and then he's like, well, what about you? Like, can you go without using, social media or stuff, because I was like, well, I feel like I feel like I'm always doing something. Like I'm always working, right? Like it just never seems to stop, so that was kind of like my gripe about it. And then I was like, man, I really can't, even though I was like a lone wolf to social media, to posting out of my peer group, I was like the last person to even hop on the bandwagon, because I could see it, because I started to see the deterioration of my friendships kind of go. Like, you know what I'm saying? And we all seen it. Like, our long conversations on the phone were just purely just obsolete, calling people, the link ups, and I waited a long time to really fill it out. So I really felt like the lone wolf. And now, I'm 10 years later, 15 years later, whatever it was, I'll probably say, about anywhere from 12 to 15 years. I definitely feel like I can't go without using social, and all these things. But then it prompted a question like, well, if all of this stuff disappears, will you still create, type of deal?
Yeah.
Because, like, I know what enchants most in us is that audience, or either it's a potential audience if you don't have an audience, or it's your current audience. You want people to see your work and kind of get, most want to get that validation, to either like or view, or whatever it may be, to share, like, oh yeah, damn, like somebody's seeing this. But what if this all goes away? Like, it's like, will people still be, in their basements, or, with their cameras, with their canvas, painting, doing whatever they do, like, without that initial, so it made me think, it made me really look within, like, damn, like, with AI, I could only imagine, like, the people that are on the ropes, like, it definitely feels and seems like their world is getting smaller. It feels like everything is kind of shrinking, because with power, great, but everybody has that same power. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like, we can all run and do, whatever, and create, but I don't know, man. It feels, even though we're using it, I'm 100% with it, but I'm just trying to relate, to the person that's outside looking in or whatever. It's very interesting, and I posed that question, in the video, like, hey, like, would you create if this was all gone?
Yeah, I definitely would. I was creating before it was here. So
yeah,
it's just, at this point, it's not about what the technology is. More about is getting it from my head to the person I wanted to see. So I want to see it, right? But my imagination is my imagination. I'm still gonna seek to be creative. It's just now that this platform, these tools are here for me to display my creativity and enhance it in some ways, to where I can compete with a big budget film or a big budget production, like have the same effect as they would, especially now in these times now, just because you don't really know who's putting out what for what reason. Like, there's the ethnicity or the authenticity of why they're creating.
Mm-hmm.
Is it propaganda they're creating? Are they just seeking fame, or are they actually wanting to share something that they made from their heart, from their imagination, to share it with people, to make them think about things a different way?
Yeah.
So it's a wide range of ways to go about life, man, and you get to pick up and choose the tools that you want to use to get you there. So just choose wisely.
Yeah. I mean, there's just so much out there, and I mean, attaching the, it's like, if I was on the rope as a beat maker or a photographer or an artist, it's just like, man, like, there's so many things to attach existing work. There's so many things to attach past work, to AI, just to literally like make. It could be micro content. It could be a whole new series of work off of that. I mean, that's just like, it's so exciting. I mean, the things that I've been doing within the past couple weeks that, I've been sharing is just like, every time I look up, it's just like, oh, okay, well, I can, do more videos, or, oh, let me take this picture. Let me take this reference. Oh, let me make another picture of myself or whatever. Let me turn myself into a character, into clay, because I just seen something that inspired me. Like, just to be able to see it, prompt it, then attach it to music. It's just crazy.
Yeah.
It's just, it's like, we've talked about it before, and, it's just like, all of the gatekeeping is basically out the way, for the most part. There's still, of course, there's still a couple, fences you got to jump. But at the end of the day, like, when it comes to attaching a beat, to something, which most of us, right, well, we want to attach it to an artist, right? And then that's that whole process. Okay, yeah, hop on the beat. Now, hopefully we make a video, or there's a video made, hopefully, but from beat to artist to video to final, whatever, we're going to put it on DSP. You're talking about a couple months average.
Yeah. With a somewhat of a guarantee, and people showing up, people sticking to the task at hand, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? We're getting down to like being productive when it's time to go to work. So being able to have your idea, and then like, it's once you hit the ground, you're running until you get to the end. You know what I'm saying? It's like you can constantly drop information in of what you're trying to do, and get information back that helps you take it to the next step. It's just an endless seam of currency, if you will, of just creativity. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just like you can get on a wave, and you can ride that wave out till it's done. And like you said, as opposed to it taking like 2 years to get a project done, you were 3 months in, you go out start to finish, you got everything you need to roll out on that project.
Yeah, I mean, I don't, the wait time is almost 0 to none. I mean, it's, I feel like everybody wants to see their work to a certain light and degree. I know I've made so many beats that I'm just like, man, you can instantly in your head either see it or maybe place it to a certain artist. Like, man, such and such would be so good on this. But now to be able to, okay, I'm making the beat, I'm getting all these ideas and all this information, as I'm making the beat, finish the beat, or maybe not even finish the beat. Maybe I just got whatever. I got the meat of the beat. Now let me grab that. Oh, let me pop it in the Suno and see what happens here. Oh shit, this is crazy. From that to, oh, you know what? Let me. This sounds futuristic. This sounds psychedelic. This makes me feel like this, and boom, boom, boom. Now I got images. Now those images turn into motion. Now I'm in a video editor, and I'm grabbing clips, and I got the beat underneath. It's like to be able to see that, like, it's, you can't, I mean, obviously I'm describing it, but words, to go from that to waiting 3 to 6 months to maybe the project or the song to be able to see it, to get all of these pieces together, like, that's great. If you can do that, great. But the time and frustration that could potentially, create with, let's say, with people that, are on the ball, that aren't, slacking, just life is happening, it's just like, I feel like, we're going to get to a point where, if you do bring out your cameras and do these things, it's going to really be an event. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just going to get harder and harder to do those things. You're like, man, like, nah, man, you know what? Like, just, you know what? I'm going to hop on your website or hop on your LinkedIn. I'm going to screenshot just your face, and then I'm going to turn you into a whole character over here. And what do you want? You want to be a robot or whatever, you know, a rap, whatever. Boom, it's done.
Yeah.
It's done. You know, it's just like, you can't beat that. Like the speed of, like, of course, like getting together and having those moments is everything. But, you know, in the meantime, in between time, you know, I think there's no better alternative than what current is current, you know?
For sure. It's like, it's almost like we can reinvent the mixtape off of all these tools. You know what I'm saying? Like, just being able to create something that's just, that hasn't been created before in a small amount of time, and then keep being able to do it to build up the notoriety to get to that project where we could slow things down and really piece it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it just being able to come up with those big ideas, and then taking those big ideas and then feed them into the machine and say, okay, now we've feed the fans what they need off of this.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Until we go on to the next thing, you know, like, or, you know, especially if you could make it more interactive to the fans as well. You know what I'm saying? Like here's what we started, like, continue its legacy or whatever, you know, like, it's just so many ways of going about using this. We get so caught up in the he say, she say, that's mine, that's his, whatever part of it is. Like, everybody got something from somebody at some point. You know what I'm saying? It's just like everybody's trying to figure out how to regulate it as opposed to letting it develop to be what it needs to be.
Well, and then I just had this thought. It's just like, okay, a lot of great artists, from your painters to your rappers to your photographers, what ends up happening, right? This is what ends up happening. Okay, you got your main guy, right? Guy or girl, whatever. You got your main person. Let's say they blow. 9 times out of 10, in that process, they start acquiring people.
Yeah.
A lot of people to do different things, right? You know, like your painter, a master artist, he's going to have a team. At the end of the day, he has a warehouse, he has a style, and then he trains 40 people on how to make the work that he creates. Now he might come with the sketchbook and this and kind of the layout, but at the end of the day, he leaves. Those 40 workers get to work because now he gets to think and process for more ideas. He gets that time rather being the worker and saying, oh yeah, I did all these styles and paintings by myself. You know, I sleep 1 hour a day, you know, type of deal. You know, that's just, in the music industry, it's the same thing. You get, you know, the artist runs out of material to write about, to rap about, to sing about. What does he do? What does she do? They get writers. You hop on the track. You look at the track information. What is it? You know, 10 motherfuckers wrote one song.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, there's definitely artists that are probably, you know, a lot of artists that are doing everything solo, but I think to get to a certain plateau and expand past your current situation, we all need help. And this is the help. AI is the help. You know, like.
Exactly. And at the end of the day, like, you know, it still comes down to who's able to absorb what's going on and do something with it. Like, if whoever makes whack shit, they're gonna make whack shit. Whoever makes stellar shit, they're gonna make stellar shit. Whoever makes timeless shit, they're gonna make timeless shit. Doesn't really matter what the tool is. That's just what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, it's you know, we'll let fast food scam us all day, every day, but you know, we can't. We're selective about art. You know what I'm saying? So it's it could be a touchy subject for most folks. I could care either way. Who wants to do what? I just know what I want to do, how I want to do it. That's what I'm going to do. So,
Right.
you know, good luck to everybody else who wants to do their thing. You know, so
Right. Yeah, that's true. I mean, regardless people use it or not, you know, obviously, you know, we just talking about the benefits of it, you know, and people are going to do what they want to do, and that's fine, you know, and I just hope that people are content doing it. It's just like you know, the reason why I put out that public service announcement was just like, man, like it's just interesting seeing the people supposedly at the top. And you know, and I'm only getting a little bit. I'm not spending that much time. I'm reading headlines and popping in for a minute or two, you know, hearing, and I'm like, I already kind of know where this is going, and then I'm headed out, you know. But it's just interesting, you know. I don't think a lot of people are you know, just trying to let the people that might be watching that do need a little motivation just to not worry. Like it either matters or doesn't matter, but at the end of the day, you know, we need to look what we need to get off our own plates, regardless of what AI has for us or not. Because, you know, we create these things and most of the time they sit on a drive, they sit on whatever computer, and it's just like they never see the day of light. Like, if anything, let's start with that. Releasing songs. Forget any art or anything to it. You just release what you got. Like,
yeah,
you know, because that might be the ticket to get to the next spot rather than the AI that's going to replace you. You know what I'm saying? You know,
only thing AI replaces is effort, dog. Like it just comes down to effort and accessibility. You know, like I can get in here, get it done, have it. Now I got an idea. I could present this to somebody, say this is the direction I'm going in. You know, and get clarity from that, as opposed to like hoping someone can validate or create what it is you're trying to create and get the word across. You know, like that constant battle of like I do this is what I done. You know, stay out my lane type of action. It's kind of, I feel like AI gets a lot of that out of the way, where now everybody can take an idea, go all in on the idea how they see it, and then bring what they got to the table, and then figure out from there where you want to go, as opposed to like trying to figure things out. You know, you can just figure it out on your own real quick and then bring something solid to the table. I've been looking at Tubi a lot.
Okay.
In my spare time, in my chore times, when I'm, you know, getting stuff done, like washing dishes or cleaning clothes or whatever the case is.
Okay.
And I've noticed that they just got a lot of hip hop style documentaries and just movies. It's just all kind of videos and whatnot. Things I wasn't even aware were created. So I've been on this mixtape. There's a mixtape movie documentary they had on there. It was pretty interesting, and just kind of like showed how a promotional stunt just kind of took over how records were getting broken. You know what I'm saying? Going from just being bootleggers coming in recording live shows, turning into like a global marketing scheme. You know what I'm saying? So it's just wild how, again, people doing things they're not supposed to be doing per se. You know, mainstream media and it taking its own life out there, as far as just creating its own path that no one expected it to happen, and it just became like to the point where it's like you can't get around it. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's becomes very important, but also it becomes a big ass target as well for people who can't wrap their head around what's going on.
For sure. That's dope. I gotta check Tubi out. I can't say I've watched anything on Tubi, but that also kind of gives me like, you know, idea like, damn, like, you know, once we get all this footage together, and obviously we're already talking, already putting all these things together, that'd be dope to drop something on Tubi, because I don't think there's that much to do it. It's just a matter of doing it.
That's simple. I know the people like Kevin Hart are they're flooding their content on there as far as all the shows he's produced and whatnot. And Nick Cannon, they're flooding a lot of their stuff on there. So I know could be a very cool platform to look into for things like that for sure.
Yeah, that's dope. Okay, all right, I'm gonna have to check that out. Yeah, because I feel like everything that's on Netflix, music wise, for the most part, I feel like I've seen. I did.
Yeah. It's like they kind of slow down on the music stuff.
Yeah, which is interesting. I did see, which I hadn't seen. What was it called? I think Protect the Children? But it was like with Don Cornelius. It was in Chicago. It was like Jackson 5 performed, like all of these Bill Weathers. I mean, all of these people, they had choirs. They had like, everybody was like young. So that was kind of cool. And they did like these like, these lamp, shots of Chicago and on the south side and the west side. So I was like, oh, okay. I was shocked that I hadn't seen it, and it was like 4 or 5 years old. I was like, huh. But yeah, it was one of them. But yeah, they definitely need more music stuff on, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was a time they were really getting into it. Then it's kind of all. Well, I know that at some point it seemed like it kind of fell off from doing a lot of the music stuff they were doing when all the rumors started coming out how they wanted to get into music streaming as well. So I don't know if that has something to do with it, where they're trying to like figure out how to package that new essence, new package for their company or whatnot.
Yeah,
but I don't know. It's been weird, but it's cool to see a lot of that stuff on Tubi that I never knew existed. So
okay. Any like local stuff pop up on there? Like, have you done any like searches for?
No, I haven't searched for anything, especially local to my area.
Okay.
Because actually, YouTube has is where a lot of my stuff is. My local people would be at.
Okay.
I haven't necessarily seen on Tubi yet.
Yeah, I got to check them out. Also, too, for like some art stuff, like, because I feel like that's another thing too. It's just like, I feel like you could only really get that like on YouTube, where there might be some variation. Which before I would go to Netflix, but yeah, everything's on it makes sense. So, it's such a bigger network that everybody would kind of go with the, YouTube's, Tubi's and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's just easier, And then if you get some traction, then you can sell it to Netflix type of deal.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. For sure. I gave Gumptown a shout out, on my latest post. I was in there. I had sauce on the beat, and it's just I silenced them drums for a minute and kind of started going. No, it was a voice that I had going. Silenced that shit. Got some of that Russian, whatever I was hitting going on, and I said, man, what I said. You slow some shit down, you start some shit, and then you go the other way. That's what we call gumbo in the South. And then I said something Gumptown. Like, that's how we do it.
That's how we do it. Hell yeah.
Yeah, and then I think on TikTok I tagged. I was like, let me see if Gumptown's out there, and there was like a nice little small feed of people who have tagged Gumptown. So it sounds like that's, so Gumptown, is that just like, is that like a neighborhood type? Like, is it only a select people, or is it like, does everybody know, okay, this side is Gumptown? I think you explained it to me.
Gumptown is the whole city of Montgomery.
Oh, okay.
So that generally we call it the Gump. And when it was an acronym for getting up my paper in the city of Montgomery, but they just call it the Gump. And then it just then there was a group that came out that put put their name as the Gump in there, and then it just kind of kept catching traction where it just became what Montgomery is known for, being the Gump. But then I think there were some I started doing these mixtapes back in 2002, 2003, where I started saying Gump Town. And then not too long after that, I noticed that there was a publication here where they do this monthly magazine, and they call it the Gump Town. And so that's just kind of been the nickname, kind of like Naptown is for Indianapolis,
Yeah.
Chi-Town for Chicago,
Right.
They just kind of took
it,
or A-Town, H-Town, all the
right.
towns. Gump Town.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Did anybody make, like, I know you said you made some songs with it, but was there ever like a breakout Gump Town like anthem? Like where?
Not necessarily. Like our first single, back in '99. Up until, I don't really know anybody who had it like as a chant or anything. That we had a song called "Life in the City," and we would say "Life in the City" of Gump. We'd be stomping and rolling punk. So that was in there. But I don't really know anybody who was making songs that were just consistently saying something about Gump Town in it. They would speak of Gump Town, but it wasn't like, like you said, like an anthem or anything like that.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, well, let's see. What else? I got no questions. I'm out of questions.
You've been too busy creating, bro. Like your mind's on the highway right now. You know what I'm saying?
I know, man. I've just been taking advantage of just the mobility of things. Like come down here, record real quick. Send it to my phone, and now it's just like, okay, there's a little break in between this show, and I mean, even my daughter called me out. You always on your phone. It's like, I get it. I just don't want to watch these damn cartoons. Like I'm tapped. I'm tapped on the cartoons, bro. I just, and it's the same ones. It's just like on repeat. So it's like I have to tune out. So it's just like, you know what? Damn. All right, let me post on here. Like I'm tired of waiting, man. I'm just like, all right, grab, create, go, create, go, create, go. Like there's definitely, some things that I'm gonna roll out a lot differently. Like our projects, like Lord of the Arcs, Speaker Talk, all of that's gonna get done a little bit differently. But still, like it's time to post. I can see my numbers, like I can see my impressions, so I know people are watching. They might not be following and doing all of this, and YouTube's definitely been interesting, but the numbers are the numbers. So it's just like I keep seeing green arrows going up. So
yeah, that's, I mean, like we just started, man. Like we've built up the library. Now we're just trying to figure out the visuals and get everything launching and get all the engines moving in the right direction. But it's a wide open highway, man. Like, we're gonna flood the market, bro. And let's see what happens, and
that's what it is too. It's just like, before, like, I feel like you can get so micro with things and like a vision and like, okay, this is the concept, and stick out and have this big body of work. But now it's, for me, it's definitely the micro, like just going in here, grabbing a little bit, maybe 30 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, whatever the music allows, or even not the music. It might just be the message, and then it's just like, boom, just release it, and it's just like you said, like flood the market. Like, ain't no one trick ponies over here, like you,
yeah,
at all. Like you're like, I was just working on a beat now. It has this like, I don't know, like futuristic kind, not 80s, but just it's just different. You know, it's just like you might get that. You might get a trap beat. You might get some that I don't even know how to explain it. You know, we don't even know how to explain it. Like that's the point. Like, you know, it's like you watch a lot of people's stuff and like I probably, at least for me, the fault that I kind of get in is like the drums, right? Where I'm just like, all right, I kind of feel like that's the same pattern. Sometimes I switch it up, and maybe I need to look a little bit in whatever. But other than that, when it comes to everything else, it's getting switched the fuck up. It's constantly turning and whatever, like, you know. So yeah, they need to see a different look, you know, because like you said, this is the beginning, and with any of this stuff, I don't want to pigeonhole myself or us to anything. Just get us in the room, you know, or we can stay in our rooms, right? Either way. You know, what's the idea? Or just, you know what, let's just talk for a little bit. Let us do what we do. We'll send you the link. We'll send you the folder. You pick. If not, we'll hit the drawing board back and get you on the next one. Whatever. Like that's just if you want this sound, if you want this look, you already see what it can be. We already know what it is.
Yeah.
You know, and like you said, we're just getting started. Like I keep, you know, I was telling Corey, like, man, I'm doing all this shit on the free shit. Basically, yeah, I pay for chat and Midjourney, which I don't really use Midjourney for any of this stuff. But once I get all the latest tools, C-Dance, whatever's out, and just have just like, yo, like. It's because it's so nasty now to me when the little bit that gets created, I'm just like, I want to keep going, but then it's like, all right, move on to the next thing, you know, like, all right, it's done for now. But I could only imagine like even more tools, what that's going to turn into be, you know, it's just, yeah, bro, like it's crazy.
Yeah. It's the wild, wild west out there right now, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, even with like TikTok, just being able to throw it, you know, throw a couple images or videos in there, and they got this thing called auto cut, and that's the twerk video that I made, and that shit just did it on its own. All I had to do is pick the song. I had to turn, you know, off the existing audio on the video, and then it's just like boom, it's just this thing like, oh shit, this is the way it cut it. Like I need more of that. Like yeah, like I just need to be the eye. Like yup, boom, I felt something great. Like it's cohesive enough. You know, let me throw a couple. I threw the girl in there because you know at first it really wasn't for the twerk, you know, thing, and then I was like, oh, let me throw a girl in here, and then the animation, he was talking at one point, or you know, my character was talking at one point. I was like, this might look good, make it seem like he's saying the word twerk or whatever. And it just all worked out. It's just, you know, it's, yeah, man, it's crazy. So what do you think about the little animations that you have seen? What are you feeling over there?
It's dope, man. Like yeah. I'm excited. Like
yeah.
I you know, just you know how my brain works. I got 1,000 ideas.
Yeah.
For all the little this and like how we got here and how we got there, so it just adds on to the vision board. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I'm loving everything, bro. Like, it's you know, especially it's just the way the transitions and the animations that are being created. You know, and I know like basically you're just basically cutting it to the beats and just like getting them sent out there. So it's just like, yeah, bro.
Yeah.
The ease of it, and the quickness of it, just being able to get in and get out like that is very inspiring.
Yeah,
especially for like what we trying to do. So yeah, I'm all into it
for sure. I mean, yeah, I mean it's like man, I'm seeing all of this stuff, and you know, I can, you know, I think we talked about like I gotta put myself out there. I gotta put us out there. We have to put us out there. You know, it's like nobody's gonna do that for us, and it's just like these are great advantages to have and want to desire. And I'm glad that, you know, all of the swords are sharpened. You know, I'm glad I know how to edit, you know, even if it's just lightly on my phone, which, you know, yeah, I can hop on the computer and do it. You know, all of my shit's really super basic. Honestly, that's all you need nowadays, because if somebody does watch it, it's good to the eye. It might not be good to, let's say, whoever, whatever, it don't matter. Like, it's just like if you like it, you like it. It doesn't matter how it was created. So it's just like, why not take advantage of all of this when it's just literally at my fingertips, which before you needed a computer, before you needed all of these things, which now you really don't need any of it. If you have a phone, you can do everything that I'm doing, that we're doing.
Yeah.
Basically, I mean,
like straight up. Straight up.
If you have a phone, you don't even really need the newest one. You can have whatever you have. It's just like you can do all of this. It's just like, yeah, having a nice computer, having, you know, the equipment is cool, but I mean, the entry level is crazy compared to, you know, what you know we might have had to acquire to even get to this point. It's just
a phone, a couple accessories to that phone, and a couple of useful and necessary apps. The whole world, you get the whole world come to you.
Yeah. For real. I mean, I even want to start like, I think like, I wish like, and I'm pretty sure it's just me a matter of messing with it, but like, just like the dialogue and maybe getting my voice, you know, and maybe I know with Grok, it's probably going to be more me doing the subscription to maybe make that a permanent thing. Or I just seen something on CapCut where it kind of could analyze your voice or something like that. So I wonder if it does something where it like grabs your voice and then turns it into, you know, either you can text into it or whatever. But, you know, that dialogue and just getting weird with that. And I've toyed a little bit with it, like, you know, with some of the videos, like at the end, you might hear the AI audio, or in the beginning, like I've been kind of like playing with my tag and stuff like that. And having it say like play dirty on the beat in the beginning or at the end. But the dialogue and starting to create like a story, because I kind of want to like start, you know, maybe this is just a separate project, just start like really like almost like scoring, you know what I'm saying? Like maybe even if it's 30 seconds or a minute or whatever, just trying to maybe even score something, because I've really never done that. You know, it's always been like, all right, cool, this beat sounds like this, go here, you know, or, you know, just mix and match, just grab some shit, drop it. Oh, no, that's next. Oh, yeah, this is the one. But, you know, it really has me thinking like, man, it'd be cool to like slow down and maybe even show that process, how the video playing, and then boom, you know, you whatever, you know, I'm on the organ with it, you know, and it's just like, you know, some shit like that. Because I was like, yeah, there seems to be some obviously, you know, opportunity to do that. So it's like, why not do it? Yeah,
as you should.
Yeah. Other than that, man, like yeah, I want to go back in the speaker talk and to the original files. I need to listen to what you sent again. And then, yeah, all of the video. I want to get all of the podcast stuff together for Lord of the Arcs. And I kind of got them like all in one folder, but it's just kind of like matching them to start dropping that. And then I acquired the Big Monk Media Instagram page, which is just an old flip of an old page. So I did that, and then I gotta do the YouTube as well. Get that page, and then start dropping some of these over on that side, just to kind of build a whole new ecosystem. Because I've been sharing it, obviously, but just so it to have its own home, and then we can always cherry pick off of whatever we want to grab to put on our own personal pages and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, but just to start to get that fully cooking and fully looking, how it should, adding some music to the whatchamacallit to be dope, and maybe we can, I don't know, work on that, or just grab some stuff we already got to put to the Big Monk thing, to maybe make it an hour of, whatever ambient music, or,
Yeah. All kind of options to take in this journey right here, bro. So yeah.
I'm gonna send you a link to that folder. I know you it seemed like you locked in with them, what you got going on, and you haven't hit them prompts yet, but I think you need to come over here to the dark side and get lost a little bit. Them folders is fucking juicy. What's in there, man? I think you're gonna be, It's so good. I almost want to release it to the public. Just be like, here you go. Here goes a gift. Like,
they ain't ready yet. We got to build a bridge for them to come on before you right, bro. So
I know.
They ain't ready. They're not adapt to what that is. It's like white folks eating Indian food for the first time. Man. You gotta baby step that thing in there,
Yeah, you gotta see if they can get past this aroma first,
Yeah, exactly. It's just the smell is too strong.
Right. Why do my clothes smell? Man, my clothes smell like this stuff. What is that? Curry? How do you spell that? That's what the K or was C.
It's so much. I remember walking in that Airbnb, that big old sign on there, no curry, don't cook any curry in my house.
Yikes. Where was that at?
And I think it was in Memphis.
In Memphis?
Yeah.
And then I feel like we went to a house that had, I want to say Florida, that had like I don't know, we were kind of thinking like, man, they might be, Indian descent. I don't know, it might have been like what they had, or in their pantry, or I think it was Florida, and I want to say they had a pool, and Tom was with us. I remember anyway.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm talking about?
I remember what you're talking about. Yeah.
I don't know what they had that triggered us. Like, man, I think this is.
I remember that house.
Yeah.
That was a cool spot too.
Good time.
The glass. I had a bunch of glass and mirror things going on in there on that one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. The inception of it all, the music, the journey, life. Yeah, man. The world building opportunity that we had there that led us to where we are now.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely changed our mindset on what we were trying to do in life, man. And it's wild knowing that we took that plunge, and we're making great progression in this journey. So it's just awesome having that backstory and the journey up through it to get to here. It's been pretty cool, to say the least.
Yeah, for sure. And it's like, it's like everybody has a story, but what we will paint is definitely our story, and it's just like, it's very unique. We've said it multiple times, like it's a hell of a story. Just the pieces and the life advice that we got from each other, for anybody that wants to listen. And then the meeting of minds, and where we became masterminds, and where we were coined masterminds.
Yes.
So, which that was impactful and interesting for that to even play out, for that to even be said. We were already we already had so much momentum leading to that point, you know.
Yeah.
And I think I was watching KRS-One, and something came up where, you know, he was somewhere and he was talking about, like, I'm pretty sure you've seen it, but he was talking about like this rap battle, and, you know, like he was battling. I don't know if it's a part of a song, but he was kind of like rapping it, and then, like, you know, it seemed like it was a cipher, right? And then the dude was like, "Oh, that's trash," you know, right? And so now, like, let's say he was painting a picture, like, now he goes back and, you know, that affects him compared to, you know, he does that same rap, and the next dude is like, "Bro, you fired. That's crazy. Like, you know, you a god." Like, you know, just, you know, sometimes those validating moments when you're already, you know, in transition to your greatness, man, it makes a difference, because, you know, we hold on to it. You know, we still, you know, say we're masterminds. We still can go to that spot and get, you know, a little juice off of what we got coined, you know. And it's like, we weren't, you know, I don't think we were thinking like that at that time.
Yeah, but like someone that actually put the title on it, from experiencing being in the room with us,
yes,
and, you know, asking us questions, and the results they were getting, and for their reaction to be, you know, you guys are masterminds, especially from someone who, you know, they're introducing us to like these highly intelligent people, like that run like in what I think they do, like, they specialize in like rockets or rocket ships or something.
Yeah.
Brought the engineers over. Like, I needed y'all to meet my partner. She's an engineer. She does blah, 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 and all this other stuff. And it's like, wow, you know, just off a conversation,
right,
turned into a whole relationship. Like, we want to be able to tap into y'all for information on these type of situations, because we love, like, the way y'all think about things.
Yeah.
You know, and then just having that kind of like be like the theme of that stint.
Mm-hmm.
Like, everywhere we went, it was like almost the same kind of effect. And then to be able to, like, years later, we go to, you know, start doing our Chicago runs and having those same kind of situations with people where they're like, you know, like, out of nowhere, no conversation needed. Hey, I like the fact that y'all, you know, whatever vibe y'all bringing in here, how can we partner up with this shit? You know what I'm saying? Like out of nowhere, just like, it just lets us know, like, we're walking the right path. You know, like, when it's people see it in us before we see it in us. So
yeah,
that's why you know how true it is.
For sure. Yeah, no, it's those moments, man, and the many more that we will have. You know, they always bring something. And, you know, like I was telling Derek, you know, now is our time to use this platform and these microphones, as Wu-Tang said, you know, as our swords, you know. Like, and, you know, I mean, you've been doing that for longer than me. You know, I've been doing it, you know, in close quarters. But, you know, we just have such a great opportunity to talk about whatever we want to talk about. Whenever we want to talk about, for it to be documented. And, you know, and that's kind of like going back where, you know, I was telling Patrick, you know, and it's like, I've said it before, but, you know, no matter where this goes, it's just like, all right, here goes an opportunity for, okay, if we have, you know, let's say 40% of our content out there, visually, all, you know, musically, everything, if it's just out there, it's just like, potentially, that has more of a longevity and a legacy factor than having something on a hard drive, than having something stored away somewhere. You know, at least when it comes to YouTube, like, when music is another thing, because it's like, yeah, if, like, what happened with Soul Chop, it's like, okay, if you don't pay the distributor, your music potentially can go down, right? You know, on the site, you know. But on YouTube, you know, at least from what it looks like, it's not going anywhere. There's a lot of sites that aren't going nowhere that are currently free. It's just like, why not put the stuff out there so it has potentially a longer shelf life? You know what I'm saying? And
potential partnerships as well. Like because once you have it out there,
yeah,
your time to promote it, to market it, is endless.
Yeah,
you can market it forever.
Forever.
And,
right.
And every year you got a new batch of people who have not experienced what it is that you do. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, once you put it out, that's the thing about digital products. It's like, once it's out there, there's no limit to its access. It's forever. Or you can always choose limitations for it to make give it more value, if you will. But like, sometimes value is also being seen everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and then be able for people to want to walk in the door to see what else do you have to offer.
And boy, do we have a lot.
We have a few things. We have a few things.
Yeah. I'm looking. I continue to look forward to the just this, and then just to keep releasing more, and obviously, there's been some reality set in for me, but still the dream is alive and well, and and it just this just goes to showing all the stuff that's been posted lately. It's like, you just got to make do with what you got and the time you have. You gotta, like I said, I've made a conscious decision to, not watch the TV, and, I'm present, but I'm over here too. If you need something, hey, I think that somebody was interviewing Madlib, and he was saying that, he makes all his music on the iPad. And I think he has some kids. I'm not sure how many, and and obviously he's probably he's always home type of deal. It's just like, and that somebody was like, well, how do you do it? And he was like, my kids know, like everybody knows, like I'm over here on the iPad and I'm with headphones, whatever, and if I have to look up and do whatever, all right, cool. But I go right back into that spot. It's like, you have to do what you have to do, because if not, you start looking around. And you put things off, like, oh, I don't have time, or the work and this. Like, no, it's like, this is all like about, if we want it, how bad do you want it? And it's not going to happen when you want it.
No, your timing is not yours. Your timing is your purpose, man. So you can't sit there and think your time is going to get you the results you're looking for.
Right.
So that's not how it works. You got to work in.
And it would have been happened by now. I mean, how many this, oh man, like, but it's just not, it wasn't the right time then. It was like, oh, okay, these are just previews to what it can be, to the life that it can be. These are really good previews to your future. It's like, here goes the looking glass. But now it's like, it's that time, like, okay, you want to keep digging? Do you really want this? Do you really want to, and this is a part of it, these talks and showing the world what it is. So yeah, man, we are at 59 minutes and 55 seconds. This has been a Big Monk Media production. I hope you enjoyed it. There will be more of these. Peace.
Deuces. Holla.
Yeah, player, we did it.
We got another one.